Good evening, everyone. The time being 7 p.m. on the 25th of June, 2025. I call the meeting to order of this meeting of the Board of Appeals. I'm John Catino as chair. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Okay, I'm going to switch screens now for a second. Mr. Burton.
Here.
Michael Riley.
Here.
Mike Heaton.
Here.
Dan Hunt.
Here.
Arnold Cohen.
Here.
Sean Masterson.
Here.
Let's see. Oh my gosh, we have 2 pages today. Wow, this is cool. A lot of people want to be here. So popular. Who else is here? I can't. There's so many faces. There's so many people that are blacked out that aren't showing their faces that I can't tell. So I know John. John wasn't going to be able to make today's meeting. How about Mike? Mike's not here either. Okay. Well, and so do we have? John's here from the town. And John, is that all we have from you? Not that that's all we have, but you're all we need.
Me and Adina. Mike Savard will not be making.
There's Adina. Okay, Adina, sorry. You're just a postage stamp size on my screen today for some reason. I apologize. Okay. Let me get back to the other screen. I like when I used to be able to have 2 computers open at the same time.
John, I do see Mike Damasio is here.
Oh, Mr. Damasio. Enter and sign in, please.
Yeah, I'm here.
Excellent. Thank you, Mike. Okay. This open meeting of the Board of Appeals is being conducted remotely. Please note that the meeting is being recorded. Accordingly, please be aware that others may be able to see you and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials have been provided by the members of this body and available on the town's website via the web meeting calendar, unless otherwise noted. Each vote taken at this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. We will now go to the first agenda item. The first agenda item is the continuation of the 25 Chamberlain Street, Ron and Barbara Foisey, and then we're going to do 39 Primrose Circle afterwards. Okay. Ron, welcome back.
Thank you, John.
Okay, so when we left, we wanted to get some feedback from town council as to the ability of the board to work, if necessary, go above the 900 square foot number, and whether or not we should force them to go to 900 square feet, or can we do the square foot? And coming back from town council, that it is not unusual for a Board of Appeals to grant a size of a unit bigger than what's on the what's in the town. I mean, what's on the record. That being said, do any of the board members have anything? We still the hearing is still open. We have not closed it. Did we close it to the public, or did we, Adina?
Open for discussion.
Because I didn't know if we closed it to close the public hearing part of it. Or we still have it open?
As far as I know, it was still open. I wasn't there, but I did watch the video, and I'm pretty sure you left it open for testimony, because I think you would ask some things to be done.
Okay, great. Mr. Riley, you have anything for me?
No, I think one of the things that I found that was important, having two elderly people in my house, is enough room to maneuver in a bathroom, enough room to have a wheelchair down the hallway. I think it's special circumstances when you get to a certain age that you need more room and more accessibility. I know sometimes when we've had ambulances at my house, we've had trouble with stretchers and things. So I'm actually had reconsidered this, and I think that it's important that I'm glad they're seeking the relief of the variance for the 1,000 feet because I think it's important as we try to age in place, we make accommodations to allow people to do that, and this will do that.
Thank you. All right, so who's in on this one? Jim, I know you were here. Michael, you were here. Arnold, were you here for the beginning of this one?
John, I have sitting on this one, you, Mike Riley, James, Dan Hunt, and Sean, and then Arnold was here. I think he came in a few minutes into it.
Okay, so Arnold qualifies, or do we have to? Do we run with 4?
No, there was 6. He was the 6th one. There was you, Mike Riley, James, Dan Hunt, and Sean.
Yeah, we can just have those 5 vote since Arnold
That's
is part of it.
Perfect.
Right.
Thank you. I just wanted to be sure that we keep everything on the up and up. Okay. Jim, do you have anything from real estate side?
No, I mean, based on the new law, I was afraid of setting new precedents, but given what the town council said that, and what Mike has added, I have nothing really to add.
Excellent. Thank you. Sean, do you have anything?
I haven't seen what counsel for the town had found relative to allowing us to grant a variance for over 900 feet, right? I'm still of the position that we can't. Right?
It is, Sean, it is allowed, but it's not by right that we have, which is what the law is. It's a variance. So, for example, my 2 houses away from me, they added a second unit for their about 10 years ago. It's 1,100 square feet. The Board of Appeals, I wasn't on it, but the Board of Appeals granted the variance to have it larger than at the time, I think it was 800 square feet that was allowed.
Yeah, it's still 800 feet in the town. That hasn't been updated, but the state, I still think based on the new state law, 900 feet would be the max. Because it's still, even 900 feet in this case would be greater than 50% of the square footage of the home. Because I think the square footage of the home, or 50% of the square footage of the home would be somewhere in the 700 square foot range, correct?
Yeah, but Sean, I think the way you have to look at it is that's the minimum that the state, if we wanted to do by the state guidelines, we have a right as a town and as a board to grant a variance to give a secondary dwelling of 1,000 square feet, not using what the state is giving us, just as a board. That's what the town council gave back to us and said, you as a board have a right to give a variance, just like my neighbor did, of having a dwelling at 1,000 square feet. Like I said, I think theirs is at 1,100. But the state said this is a minimum. That, like this is, I'm not a minimum. This is granted by right. This isn't granted by right. This is pretend that law never existed. This is them seeking a variance for 1,000 square foot auxiliary living unit. Like forget that law existed about about the 900 square feet. These are just people coming to us because that doesn't apply now. What applies now is the regular zoning board authority to grant a variance to create an auxiliary dwelling unit of 1,000 square feet if we choose to.
Mhm.
That's what we're working with now.
Right, because otherwise it's only, isn't it only a special permit? If it, or is it just by right that they could have just put it up?
By right.
Well, they can put it up by right based on 50% of the square footage,
Oh, right,
or
and
900
so-
square
right.
feet, whichever is small.
Right, so they wouldn't even have to have come to us. So that's why, so I now understand what you're saying, Mike.
Right.
Okay,
But
excellent.
then the issue is whether this is a variance, because they could build it on the property regardless of the soil conditions and so forth. There's no hardship in building something that's less than 1,000 square feet.
Correct.
Right. So in essence, what we're saying is for a variance, one of the aspects is a hardship. Well, there is no, in my view, there is no hardship, because the state, prior to the way Chapter 40A, Section 1A was revised, the town itself had a maximum square footage of 800 square feet for an ADU. And in order to grant a variance, I think we'd have to show some type of, at a minimum, some type of hardship. And there really isn't a hardship because the state provides for 900 square feet, and there's, like, to go larger, I don't see as a hardship.
Well, see, the way I see it is that, like when we write bylaws in the town and the way the state looks at it, they're not just looking at it, they're looking at a general building that's being built, not necessarily that has to be accessible or ADA requirements. Because I do a lot of ADA and accessible bathrooms, and they just have to be that much bigger. And so to put the burden on the people that just want to stay and live, age in place, to say that they must stick within the state law that says 50% of the house that they presently live in. Well, if the house that they presently live in still couldn't absorb having an ADA bathroom or an accessible bathroom, and then we're saying that now they're going to go to half of it and still be able to have bathrooms, and not just bathrooms, hallways, doorways, that have to all be 36 inches. People don't think about that. Many bathrooms have 24-inch and 30-inch doors. In an ADA bathroom, they all have to be 36. They all have to open the same way. The toilets have to be at the height. You still have to have the room at either side, all the handles and everything else. And to me, the burden is that telling them that they have to try and squeeze into that just because they don't have a house in my neighborhood that are all 4, 5, and 6,000 square feet. We even have a 12,000 square foot house in my neighborhood, so they can put up a 6,000 square foot unit if we wanted to go by the half. And I know it's capped at 9, but
Right.
But that's what I'm just saying, that if people want to age in place in our town, considering that we really don't have many places that you can go, even the downtown, the 2-bedroom, 2-bath things that Chuck put up now that are over $1.3 million, $1.4 million, it's just ridiculous. So to try and the way I look at it is to set a precedent that we want to allow people to age in place in this town, like I want to eventually move out of my 5-bedroom, 4-bath house. Yeah, I think that's what we should start, taking care of each other, and if it's 100 square feet to allow this how it to work, it's Mike, I see your finger up, unless you're just pointing to something.
Yeah, part of the issue is neither of the bathrooms that are presented here are ADA compliant. They're just traditional bathrooms. Same thing with the closets.
Let me look. Those look like 36 doors.
But the fact is, they don't have a 5-foot turning. The size of the bathroom is not ADA compliant. I do accessibility consulting,
Mm-hmm.
and while the half bath may meet Federal Housing Associate FHA requirements, but the master bath is not ADA compliant.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
And neither are the closets. You need for what they've called a master closet, they need a 5-foot turning circle inside that. Same with the mud utility one.
Ron, you got to make the house bigger.
That's what we're trying to do, John. Through the chair.
Yes.
Apparently, we did not expect this to be construction drawings at this point before we even got approval to go above the 750 square foot that we could do by right. You know, it's expensive, as everybody knows, to go back and forth with engineers and architects doing this. We spent a lot of time trying to get the size down to 900, and it's hard to do with less than that, but we did not spend the additional time and money and effort with the architect to get all of the things that Mr. Damasio is bringing up.
Okay.
Through the chair,
Yes.
is that something you, just as someone, I can highly recommend that you do that time and effort now. When we built this house, I built it knowing my mother-in-law, who was exercising every day and running every day. I built it so the bathroom doors were wide enough so that one day when she couldn't, it would work. I highly recommend that if I'm going to really consider this, that's the reason I'm considering anything more than what's allowed by law, is that you're going to prepare for living in place and potential things that happen, and not all of it's permanent. My mom was in a wheelchair for a while, and she's back out of it. You know, so I think that it would behoove you to look at something like that as far as a permanent change in this presentation, because when John and I had looked it over, and I'm not a contractor, it was based on ability to have handicap accessible, wheelchair accessible, wider things so people could move around if they ever needed a walker or a wheelchair. And Mike Damasio seems to be kind of an expert in this. And I guess I'm a little thrown a little bit. I thought that's what one of the things was. So I apologize if I was part of anything that misled you to believe that it was for anything else. But I do think it's important that you do prepare for that. And if you don't want to prepare for that, then that's fine. And we can judge it on what we have presented in front of us.
To the chair.
Yes.
I think what Ron is trying to say is, as a contractor, is going back and forth. I don't know if there's a legal form that he can fill out to say that that's what he's looking for relief, and why he needs the extra space. But going back and forth every time you meet with an architect is $5,000 to $10,000, where he's trying to save money. Where if we vote against it and he's out that 10 grand, so I don't know if it's something he can verbally say, so that he can try to get that commitment from us, if you will, before he goes and spends that money. Versus, you know what I mean, something more written where he doesn't have to pay the architect, but he's bringing to the board that this is the reasoning that he wants to do it. Because I do agree with Mike Riley in the ADA compliant and stuff like that. And if that is something that they're trying to relief, I don't know if we legally can do that, if they can just do that in writing. But I do understand where Ron's coming from on trying to save money on the architect, because it gets expensive fast, all to find out we all denied him to do it. And he doesn't get to recoup any of that money. So I don't know. I know we got a couple lawyers on the board if that's something we're allowed to do.
Michael, we could make it conditional upon, correct, John?
Yeah, we've done that.
John G. Recondition it?
Condition the variance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I believe, yeah, you can condition the variance. It would depend on what the condition says.
Okay. Excellent. All right.
Ron, ask Ron if that would that satisfy you? And because I absolutely understand what Mike is saying. So Mike,
That is our intention, to make it fully ADA compliant. So we're happy. In fact, we will meet with the architect shortly to get that plan to you. But having a conditional approval based on seeing the ADA compliant plans would be perfectly acceptable for us.
and you don't have to be ADA as long as you're accessible. ADA is a whole, that gets into the federal stuff, right, Mike? As accessible stays within the state.
Right.
Yes, for a single-family dwelling, there's no requirement either for the mass accessibility regulations or the federal regulations that require it to be accessible. But if that's one of the reasons why they're saying that they're over the square footage, they should at least meet FHA guidelines, which means not that it's fully accessible, but it would be considered minimally accessible and adaptable to be accessible.
But I think we just got the verbiage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Okay, so ready to close the public hearing?
Well, we'd like to be heard on behalf of the abutters before you close the public hearing.
Okay, yes. Okay, your name and
Henry
address.
Lane. Yeah, Mr. Chairman, board members, my name is Henry Lane, and I'm an attorney who represents Mr. Harold Link, the immediate abutter to the south. And I don't want to go too deeply into what we talked about a month ago, but I do want to reiterate some of the comments that were made here. One is that, the ADU provision, whether you're talking about the state statute or the town bylaw, focuses on it being accessory. And what's really happening here is you're creating two principal residences on the same lot. You look at the plans, it's a bath and a half, it's 2 bedrooms. I would suggest there are many primary dwelling units in Hopkinton that have 2 bedrooms and a bath and a half. Accessory presupposes it's going to be, again, accessory, 1 bath, 1 bedroom, something that allows a small dwelling, not a full-size house. Now, admittedly, it's a small house, but it's still a primary residence for somebody, not an accessory. So you're really doing more than either the bylaw or the statute really presupposes is going to happen. And so with respect to, the town attorney's comments, I haven't seen what he actually said, so it's hard to disagree with it. And I would agree that you certainly have the right to vary the terms of the town's ADU bylaw, but I don't believe you have the right to alter the terms of the state ADU statute, because the state statute, and if you look at the regulations under
again,
the
with this,
statute,
Mr. Lane, I understand you're saying that, but again, we're not doing anything with the state statute at this point. The state statute would have allowed him to build up to those numbers by right. And so this is a variance. He's coming to us with a variance, has nothing to do with the state statute, the 750 square feet or the 900 square feet. I thought we got that settled at the beginning of the meeting.
Well, that was not clear to me, but maybe that's so you're telling me that you're proceeding only under the town bylaw.
we're going a variance, he's looking for a variance to build a secondary dwelling unit.
Under the town bylaw, not under the state,
That's
not under
800
the
square
state
feet.
statute.
Right.
So the limit would
Because
be
otherwise state
800.
statute overrides that, and he could have done it by right. He didn't have to go by the 800 square feet.
Right, so you're saying your variance runs from the 800 square feet, not from the state limit.
The state limit would have been by right, that's why. And so he wouldn't have needed to come to us for the state.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But he's asking for more than the state allows. So as I understand what you're saying is, you're not considering this as a variance from the state limit, you're considering it as a variance from the town limit.
Correct.
So the town allows 800 and he's asking for 1,000. So
Correct.
20% more than the town allows.
Correct.
So then you're left with the proposition that, as one of the gentlemen said earlier, you still got to come up with a hardship, and there is none. There's nothing unique about the soil conditions, shape, or topography of this lot that suggests that there's a reason to allow a 20% increase in what the bylaw allows. There's just nothing there. I understand that, they would like to have a second home on the same property, but as we pointed out earlier, this lot's already undersized. So to allow essentially two principal residents contravenes the entire bylaw, and there's just no justification for it.
The way that I understood it, Mr. Lane, the way I understood it was that your client doesn't want this to be built at all.
That's correct.
Whether it was right, so we have to take that into consideration, and this is what happens to our board a lot, is that neighbors often say that they don't want something built because that lot's always been empty, and I like having an empty lot next to my house. And what I always say to people is, well, then if you want that empty lot, then buy that empty lot. But people also should have some property rights to do it.
You're presupposing what I said. I never said that
Excuse me.
I didn't want it built at all.
Only one person's allowed to
Dave,
talk, and you have to be recognized.
Dave. Okay.
Talking.
Okay, and Henry, I'm out. I should have re-announced from the meeting that each person that wants to speak is allowed 3 minutes, and I'm giving you. I was being very generous, but Dave, yes, please speak up.
I never
and address. Dave, name and address, please. Sorry.
Dave Heverling for Angelo Drive.
Thanks, Dave.
I never said that I was not in favor of any dwelling. I told them to their face when they first mentioned this concept to me in January that I was not supportive of it, but that I was not going to fight anything that was within the law. When they went to the variance, when they went to that is what I have objected to. Building something larger with a larger vertical footprint also than they had ever considered. So I just want to make sure that my words are not being misconstrued.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. Okay.
Anybody else in the public?
Okay.
Make a motion the public hearing be closed.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Second. Thank you, guys. Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this on the motion? Hearing none. Jim, how do you vote?
Yes.
Michael, Riley?
Yes.
Mike Tomasio, you weren't in on this one, were you?
No,
Originally?
no, I'm not.
Okay. Arnold?
Yeah, I don't think I'm in it either, am I?
No,
Yes, you
he's
are.
not.
You came in on this one, according to Adina. And Mike Heaton, you're in this one, right?
I don't think I was here.
Oh, no,
John-
I was.
Yeah, John?
Oh, Dan Hunt. Oh, yeah, Dan Hunt. So Dan Hunt, Sean.
Yes, close the meeting.
Okay, Dan Hunt, Sean, Arnold, and I vote in the affirmative also. Okay, all right, we're close. Does anybody have any discussion, or does anybody have a motion? I have a motion if people don't. Let me just find it.
John, before you read the motion, oh, never mind. You can read the motion, and then we'll have any discussion related to it.
Okay. I move that the Board of Appeals find the following as it relates to proposed development at 25 Chamberlain Street, that owing to the circumstances relating to soil conditions, shape, topography of the land structures, but not affecting the general zoning district, which is located, a literal enforcement of the provisions of the bylaw would involve substantial hardship, financial or otherwise. 2, that the desirable relief may be granted without substantial detriment to the public good, and that the desirable relief may be granted without nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent and purpose of the ordinance of the bylaw. The decision, I move that the board grant a variance to allow an accessory dwelling unit with a gross floor area of 1,000 square feet at 25 Chamberlain Street as depicted on the plans entitled 25 Chamberlain Street at SS LLC dated June 1925, with the condition that the bathrooms meet an accessibility, general accessibility requirements.
FHA.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mike, now we can discuss it.
Okay. 2 things I'd suggest. One is that you actually reference a document that they would need to meet, and I'd suggest the FHA guidelines.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'll amend that to meet FHA guidelines. Can I have is a friendly amendment to the second? Thank you.
Okay. The second thing, so I just had a question, and I just noticed this. Is there a space for a second floor in this? They have dormers.
They discussed that in the first one. We asked that directly, Michael, and they said,
Yes.
no, there's no second floor anything. There's no second
The
floor.
vaulted ceilings.
It's vaulted ceilings. It's no second floor space of any kind that can be used for anything but a small attic.
Okay.
Yeah, we asked that one. That came up earlier.
Okay. And the third thing, do they need a variance for the fact that it's a detached from the main residence?
No.
Doesn't our ADU requirements?
No,
require
ADU can be
the-
separate.
an
It can be separate
extension?
or attached.
There'd be an
It can be
extension of the
In days of old, Michael, it had to be attached. That when my neighbors did it, they had to like do a touching roof, awkwardly placed, so it was attached. But I don't believe that's the requirement anymore.
Yeah,
but
we
it
used
could
to
be.
have to do that in the planning board. In the planning board, when they were doing that development that's right near Cornell's, Davenport, that they had these little like covered walkways to attach stuff. It was very strange. But that was too, so they wouldn't have to do that
Well,
anymore.
they'd still have to get a building permit, and they'd have to go by the code of the town. So if it says it's got to be attached, then it would have to be attached.
Okay,
Correct?
that's, yeah, the zoning enforcement officer would indicate that.
Go.
Okay, so
తలా ఒక lemonade తీసుకోండి.
so could everybody make sure that they mute their phones and computers, if they would, please? Cynthia, thank you very much. All right, so we have a motion and a second that has been updated. Are we ready for a vote? I believe we are. Mr. Burton,
Yes.
Mr. Riley,
Yes.
Mr. Masterson,
I'm going to vote in the negative.
Okay, and Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
And I'll vote in the affirmative also. Okay, so we have a 4-1. It passes. Barb and Ron, please keep in touch with the town hall, and they'll tell you what your next steps are.
Excellent. Thank you so much for all your time and consideration.
Thanks, guys. Okay, I'm going to open up. 39 Primrose Circle. All right, here we go. Public hearing notice. The Town of Hopkinton Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, June 25th, 2025 at 7 p.m. to hear all persons interested in the appeal filed by Ratna J. Melicity at 39 Primrose Circle in Hopkinton, Massachusetts. The appellant seeks to appeal the administrative decision of the Director of Municipal Inspection Zoning Enforcement Officer dated April 25th, 2025, denying the zoning approval to establish a beauty care business at 39 Primrose Circle, Hopkinton, Mass. Assessors map R8 38-84 in a residential subdistrict of the open space mixed use development Osmond Overlay District. The property is owned by Ratner and Citizen R. Melicity of 39 Primrose Circle, Hopkinton, Massachusetts. The hearing will be held remotely using the Zoom meeting service. For additional information, please email zba@hopkintonma.gov. Call the Department of Land Use and Planning and Permitting at 508-497-9745 or check the online meeting calendar and agenda at this meeting at hopkintonma.gov. This legal notice is also posted in Massachusetts Newspapers Public Association, MNPA website at masspublicnotices.org. John Catino, Chairman Clerk, regarding 25020. Okay. Who is here talking about 39 Primrose Circle? Please enter and sign in, please.
Thank you, John. It's me and my wife. We are here to talk about it.
Welcome.
Thank you, John. As I said in my letter, my wife, she was working as a statistician before, licensed as a statistician, and because of COVID, and she got affected with the job. Then we decided to run the business as we applied for the state license, and we got the approval, and the state board of cosmetology, they came here, did their inspection, and they approved the business. And I think Sean McCoff, I think he's also fine from the BOC in the town. And our request is to continue this business. I think, as I mentioned in my letter, we will follow all the R1 rules that are mentioned in the deed, no two customers at a time and not planning to employ anyone, and also respect the timings of the neighbors. And if our visitors, if they do any mistakes, we will correct them. And So I think this is the first one. It's coming to town, whether we can do the home businesses in the legacy or not. I think at least this will give us some kind of a direction before, and our main purpose is before we start our own business in the Hopkinton downtown. We want to test the waters as a small business. And my wife, she is here, and she is the one who got certified and who owns this LLC.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Whatever the decision, I respect the decision. No back and forths. So with the respect of whatever it is, I will fully accept that decision and move on.
Thank you. John G. Can we have the town's meeting? I don't see that we have Mike here.
Yeah, Mike is not able to attend tonight.
Okay, so can we have an opinion from the town at all? Do you have anything that what he may have been thinking, or any of that you might be able to help us out on?
Yeah, so I was requested by the chair and the vice chair to talk to him, but he was out today, and so I wasn't able to talk to him today, and I did not see him yesterday, so I did not have a chance to ask him what his reasoning was or his argument for denying this use.
Okay.
John, can I ask you, John G, can I ask you a couple of questions and maybe, and that was one of the purposes of my email earlier, just for the rest of the board members, as we had an advantage of having a conversation with you. If you could tell me that, from my understanding, a person has a right to have a business at home if they meet 6 criteria things. Do you happen to have those in front of you?
And pull them up.
Oh, and as John's bringing this up, so we'll have the standing board members, Michael, Mike, Jim, Arnold, and myself on this one. If Dan and here it is. Dan and Mike and Sean, you guys are standbys.
So, John, you want me to be a standby, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So through the chair, what the vice chair is talking about is the board may grant a special permit modifying these limitations, but as long as these limitations don't need to be modified, this A1 through 6, the home occupation, if it meets the definition within these classes and does not exceed these limitations, is allowed by right where it's allowed by right. And in the Osmond, home occupations are allowed by right.
Oh, okay. Oh, so this one's actually quite simple. We basically just,
and I apologize because it's small on my screen and I'm not computer savvy.
You just do this with your fingers and it gets bigger.
Okay, there you go. Okay. All right. So the occupation is situated in petitioner's dwelling. That's true. There's no major structural change. Correct. They can't do that. Not more than one person in the residence shall be employed. Is there only one person who's employed in this business? The petitioner?
The owner, she's only the one running.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
No more than 4 clients are scheduled for any 1 hour, no more than 16 in any one day, only between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Is that how the business is run?
Yeah, that's what the plan is.
Okay. Is there sufficient parking to accommodate if everybody shows up like they do say here, which is 4 clients, 16 in a day? Do you have enough parking for everyone?
We always take only like 2 at a time, not even like 1 at a time. And if the other person comes, we have 2 parking lots. But by mistake, if somebody parks somewhere, we always tell them go back and correct your problem.
Yep. You don't have produce, stock and trade, or no retail and so far incidental home occupations, teachings?
No, nothing. This is just
okay. So all 6 things are unchanged. You don't have a variant. You don't need any changes in any of these 6 things.
Mm-hmm. Yes. No need to change it. And that's what like all these were Board of Cosmetology from Massachusetts. They came and they checked and they approved. Yeah.
So
thank you, Michael.
Okay. No, that's good. I just wanted to make sure we understood what the conditions were and what they had a right to do. Not saying what Legacy Farms as an association allows them to do. I don't know. I'm not familiar with all the bylaws. That's to me their concern, not our concern as a board. But I just wanted the board to understand what John with G was so excellent brought to our attention yesterday.
For the chair, can I say something, Michael?
Yes.
Excellent.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yes, Arnold.
Sorry,
yes,
John.
so I just want I looked into this and I see Mrs. Savard's letter, and the reason he gives for denying the permit or the application is that he's concluded that this accessory use may not contribute to the betterment of the neighborhood and community. And I don't see that is a basis, if it's a matter of right, particularly, to deny it. It doesn't cite any provision, unless there's a provision that says that you can't have a home office unless you can It's,
Arnold, you're completely correct.
yeah, okay.
You're completely correct. Yes. Even Sean's nodding his head there too. And yes, and whenever I want to get the dissenting opinion, I look towards Sean. Okay.
Well, he's going to hold us to a high standard, and I appreciate it.
Yes, it's absolutely. Okay.
Can I say something?
And Mike Damasio's even being quiet right now. So yes, I think that's okay. So so do we open this up to the public?
He wanted to say one more thing, and then we'll open it up to the public.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, regarding the HOA, somebody mentioned that one. So there is emails between me, Sean McCuff, and HOA. So as long as the town approves, HOA is fine. That's what the email that I have from HOA. I mean, unless in future if they come up with the new rules, of course, as a respectable citizen, I will follow that one. But for now, what they said is we will follow the rules. Whatever the town says, we will follow that one. That's what the email that I have from HOA. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Okay. Are there any members? I better get ready to write this down because there's a lot of people right here. Are there any members of the public that would like to speak? Please, what I want to do is just get name and address, and then I'm going to call in each individual person.
I'll try to get a list, John.
Okay, great. I'm going to call each person separately, and you have 2 minutes to tell us what your thoughts on this, and then we'll move on. But keeping in mind that as a board, the way that I see it right now is that this does meet all of those 6 criteria, and that if you're in if you're here to support support it, that you might not have to speak that much. But so please, who wants?
Please don't be redundant in your statements. If somebody's already said something, just let that one. We got the point.
Yes. Okay. So who wants to? Who's unmuting first?
I can go first. This is
okay.
Shweta.
Well, no. Just yes. You name and address, and then
Yes.
then you will be first after.
Yeah. So I'm Shweta Sivakumar, and my address is 10 Redwood Path, Hopkinton, Massachusetts.
Excellent. Okay. Who's next?
Senthil Monisami, 54 Primrose Circle.
Okay. Next.
Shikha Srivastava, 21 Primrose Circle.
Okay. Who's next?
Anjana Ramadevi, 14 Primrose Circle.
Okay. Who's next?
Satish Madhavarapur. Sorry.
Satish?
Satish, yeah.
Okay.
41 Primrose Circle.
Okay. Who's next?
Murali Ambati. Oh, sorry, Murali Ambati, 12 Primrose Circle.
Okay. Who's next? Okay, so I have 6 people.
They will all run business first.
I'm here to.
Okay.
Sorry, this is Prakash Achan. I'm from Nile.
Prakash?
This is Prakash Achan. I'm from Nile Locust Lane.
Padma Anand, 35 Primrose.
Okay, I got Padma. And who is the other? Who is the gentleman? Padma, I got you. Who's the other one?
Prashad Anand. Prashad Rao Anand.
And it is Prakash Achan. I'm from 9 Locust Lane.
Okay.
Shweta and Ravi Tummala, 60 Primrose Circle.
Apparao 24 Juniper Trail.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
From 55 Walnut Way.
Jaspreet Khambe from 5 Walnut Way.
Manpreet Singh from 27 Walnut Way.
Bhuvana from 10 Redwood Path.
Madhu Nimmagadda from 58 Primrose Circle.
Wow.
Venu Karna from 48 Primrose Circle.
Jaini Shah from 16 Locust Lane. Sindura Ganga, 31 Primrose.
Madhumita Ambati, 12 Primrose.
Okay.
Hey, Ramya from 79 Spruce.
Swati Verma from 18 Primrose.
Okay, Hema?
Yeah, Hema from 28 Walnut Way.
I missed one. Who was the one before Hema?
It was me, Ramya, 79 Spruce Street.
Thank you.
Hi, Lakshmi, 53 Walnut Way.
Okay.
Any more?
Wow.
Hey,
Hi,
Ashok George, 48 Walnut.
What is it? I'm sorry, I missed that one.
Ashok George, 48 Walnut.
Manjusha and Satya
Hold
Divela,
on.
20,
Manju, okay. Where are you from, Manju?
27 Primrose Circle.
Thank you.
Bhuvana, 10 Redwood Path.
Wow. This is one of the biggest ones we've ever had.
Anybody else? So John. Oh, so I'm sorry.
Okay. Wow.
So John,
Yes.
I usually when we get a crowd this big. Okay, we still got more, John, first of all.
Yeah, this is Chakri Konapala, 62 Primrose Circle.
Okay.
Yeah, the notice went out to like 150 people, so.
No, we get a number 4, 8, 10. We've like almost 30 people.
So here's the thing.
Purnima, 61 Spruce Street.
Looks like people are thinking about that this might be a voting piece, so that's why people are calling their names, I guess.
So my suggestion, John, is I think there's what tends to happen in these things, like when we did 290 West Main.
Yes.
People just coming up and saying the same exact thing. So if what we can do is, if it is against it or supporting of it, maybe even like understanding that, but I don't think we have enough time to give 2 minutes to everybody who's going to say the exact same thing.
Oh my gosh, we'll be here all night.
Yeah. So if we're just clear, if there's nothing new to add, we understand that you're not for it or you are for it. We can kind of get that thing. You can just come up quickly and say, I'm against it, or I'm for it, which is important but I think it's people don't understand that they have a right to do this. The board would actually be negligent in its duty if it's denied unless you show that one of those 6 things aren't happening. And that's why I was very careful to go through those to make sure we understood. But the town ordinance says they have a right by law to have a home business if it meets this 6 criteria. Now, you may oppose the business, but we have no right to deny it unless it's shown that they don't meet these 6 things which we asked them. So I think we kind of need that as a baseline for people to understand.
Right.
All right.
Okay. So first up, who do you have, Mike, first person?
SWETA THA, Swetha.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Good evening. So this is Shweta from Redwood Path. So I'm voting in support of this business. Personally, I've been friends with them. They are really very kind people, and she's extremely talented. When she was working outside, I've been with her a lot of times, and she's extremely talented. And it will definitely be useful for our community, provided it's inside the community, and then accessibility in the winters and everything. It will be extremely useful for us.
Thank you very much. Next.
SCNTHIL, Senthil.
Yeah, it's me. I live in 50 Rose Primrose Circle. I have a concern with this. My biggest concern is parking. The Legacy Farms Road is too narrow, and I live opposite to their house. I've been struggling with their clients coming and parking in front of our driveway for the last couple of years. We told them many times, it's still an inconvenience for us. There is really no parking. The driveway is very narrow, and they have 2 cars. They used to have 3 cars. Now they have 2 cars. They have to pull the car out somewhere to park it, and the clients come and go every 30 minutes. And we had so many inconvenience taking our car out of our driveway from the garage. So I really don't think Legacy Farms has a road that big enough to park on the road. And I don't think houses, even the single family, has a driveway big enough for even park 2 cars, to be honest with you. If you want to come and inspect it, you can take a look at it. I'm not against business, but my bigger concern is parking. And as a neighbor, I've been going through for the last 2 years. We are talked to their clients. We talked to them directly many times. And it's getting improved a little bit, but it's still a nuisance and inconvenience for me. And my own other concern is, if this is approved and more people start business like this, where clients visit more often, I think this will create more traffic situation and parking concern in the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, the next one I have is ANJANA, Anjana.
Hello, Anjana here from 14 Primrose. I am in support of Mrs. Malisetti's business because I have been using her service, and it has been, every time I go there, like I have seen, I'm the only person now. Almost when I leave is when the next person comes. I've never had issues with the parking. The driveway is available for parking, and she has been very respectful about the rules.
Thank you very much.
I missed one, John.
Yes.
SHIKATA.
It's SHIKHA. Thank you. It's Shika from 21 Primrose Circle.
Thank you. I'm sorry I skipped over you. It was just a mistake.
No worries. That's fine. I just wanted to put in some of my comments. We have been friends with Roja and Srini for about 7 years, and I have been using their services from a very long time. And I do live in Primrose Circle as well. So even if there are 2 cars, we can put it in the garage. We still have 2 parking spaces in front on the driveway, which I've never seen a problem till now. And second thing, one suggestion I would definitely give to Roja and Srini, they can also set up some process where people can sign up for their convenience, so that they don't have 2 people coming in at one time. That would help them a lot. But I believe they have been really good with the community. Though they donate to the community, they give back to the community. So it's not just that they are running a business, they are also running a lot of charities as well. So I'm supportive of them.
That's sort of outside the 4 corners for us, though, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Satish.
Hey, this is Satish from 41 Primrose Circle. I am next neighbor of Srini Malisetti, who was setting up this business. So as we have seen the 6 points, I think they already mentioned that they're following all those, and I believe they clearly mentioned that they're going to get 2 clients at a time max, and they do have 2 car parking.
So being a next neighbor, I don't see an issue as long as they follow all those 6 rules, and Srini Malisetti has confirmed that those 6 rules that are mentioned in the document is being followed. So I have no concerns.
Thank you, Satish.
Now, what's in the, I have.
Madhumitha, Madhutha. Madhumitha is what I quickly wrote down. I may have misspelled it.
And I misspelled it too, so I'm going to go.
Yeah, it's a Madhumitha, yes.
Madhumitha. Yeah, I see the name. It's Madhumitha. Yep, I see it right there. Madhumitha, are you with us? You got to unmute yourself.
Hi, I am Murali, Madhumitha's husband. She just went away. Okay, I can talk on behalf of Madhumitha.
Okay.
I'm supporting through Srini Malisetti and Roja, business. They are nice people, and they are helping to the community, and also they are giving some funds to the community when we are doing some events. So that's why I would support this business.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Padma? Padma? Padma?
Padma and Prasad, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's skip over to
Prasad. Prashad, I have. Prasad?
Hello. Yeah.
Prasad, okay.
I am Prasad Anand.
Hi, Prasad. What can we do for you?
Pardon?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I support this business, and everybody is using the convenience and easy to work and enjoying the service.
Okay, thank you very much. Prakhar, Prakhar.
Hi, this is Prakash Achan from 9 Locust Lane. My wife is a client of Roja, and I support this business. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for this. Thank you for being so succinct.
Svetha? Swetha?
Hey, yeah, I support this business. They are very friendly neighbors, and I enjoy their service, and I didn't see any inconvenience so far. So I have no issues with it.
Thank
you very much. Aparo?
Hi everyone. Yeah. So I support this business. I think my fellow members are already covered most of the topics. So I support this one.
Thank you.
JK?
No, I have Prathima, Prathima, before JK.
Yeah.
Hi, I support this business and I never seen them disobey any of the rules, so I totally support their business.
Terrific. Thank you so much. There was a name, but I got down the initials set on the screen. It was JK.
I did the same thing, JK.
Hi, this is Jaspreet Thambe from 5 Walnut, and I strongly support this business. We have been friends with Roja and Shrinu for many years. You can't find nicer people than them, and I think they obey all the rules. My wife has been going to Roja for many years, and I have nothing more to say. Thank you.
Thank you very
JK.
much. I just want to say I appreciate everybody keeping it really succinct. Because if you're in support, just please say your support. If you're against it, please just state the reason why you might be against it. But we still have a lot of people to go through. Thank you.
MS.
Hi, Manpreet Singh here from 27 Walnut Way. I support this business, and I've been friends with this family for a very long time. And they're doing a fabulous job. And everything said before me, I support all of that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Buri, B-H-U-R-I or V-I? I'm sorry. I wrote it fast.
Yeah, hi, this is Bhuvana.
Is
I live in 10
Bhuvana.
Redwood Path. Yes, I strongly support this business. We have been friends with them for more than 7 years, and I have never seen them waver out of any of the rules from the town. And I never had any parking issues. And whenever I come in, I'm always the only client there. So she always gives appointments and takes only appointment based. So I strongly support this business.
Thank you so much. Madhu, M-A-D-H-U.
Hi, yeah, I'm Madhu. I live in 58 Primrose Circle, almost across to their house. So we have been using their services, and I strongly support their business. So we don't have any issues with any of their things. So I definitely support their business.
Okay, thank you so much. Venukuma. And I apologize if I mispronounce the name. It's V-E-N-U-K-A-M-A that I had.
Hi, this is Venu Karna here. I'm in favor of Malisetti's business. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Janie? That one next.
J-A-I-M.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Jaini and I'm from 16 Locust. I support this business. I've been her client from last 6 years. She only gives appointment to one person at a time and strongly suggests us to park in her driveway and nowhere else.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sindura?
Hi, I'm their neighbor at 31 Primrose. I support this business. I even walk to their service. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have another M-A-D-H-U-M-I-T-H-A, 12 Primrose.
I think I have already mentioned it, so I vote for the business. So yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I had you down twice. Thank you.
Yeah.
I did too, sorry.
Rania, R-A-N-Y-A, 79 Spruce.
Hey, hi. Yeah, I don't have any issues. I fully support Roja's business.
Thank you very much. Hema, 28 Walnut.
Yeah, hi. I'm friend with Roja for the past 6 years. I don't have any issues. I strongly support this business.
Thank you so much. Again, another Rainy, R-A-M-Y. Did I have it twice?
Or maybe you got it twice.
Okay, sorry.
It's the same thing. Ashok?
Lamy? Is that an L-A?
LAXMI?
Yep, that's it. I got it.
Yeah, hi. In support of the business, I've been a client of the salon for many years now, and she runs it very professionally. I can vouch that she's been following all the 6 rules. And the parking, which is the topic of contention today, I guess she gives appointments to one client at a time. So we have been very conscious of that and not faced this issue, and been conscious of the neighbors as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Asher George, 48 Walnut. It's Assure George, A-S-U, and I couldn't get it when he said it, but it
I got A-S-H-O-K. I just wrote stuff down fast. Okay.
48 Walnut.
All right, let's jump to the next one.
Okay. Manju, 27 Primrose.
Yes, this is Satya, 27 Primrose. I do support and be favorable towards Srini Malisetti's business.
Thank you.
The next one is, I started getting worse with my penmanship, is 10 Draper or B-H-U-I-V-A-N. Boyvan.
Okay. How about
Sit here?
Sit here.
Hi, I'm in support of the business. Can I make one quick session?
Sure.
As you can hear, majority of us are completely in favor of the business. Maybe we can ask in the interest of time, are there any people who's opposing it, just to make it easy?
Well, we've only got
Let's just go through we don't know. Let's just go through we only have a few names left. And that's all the people. We're going to close the public hearing once we go through these names. This
Chikari.
is Chikari, 62 Primrose. Okay.
Hey, I'm Janti. I'm Chakri's wife from 62 Primrose, and we support the business.
Okay, thank you. Tremara, 61 Spruce, it looks like.
Huh?
He wants me to do a couple things for him.
Oh, okay. So will you be able to do that?
Yeah.
Who's talking? Hema? Your mic's on. Is there a Tremara, 61 Spruce? Okay, Aparo, APP.
Yeah, I already
okay.
mentioned.
All right.
Yep.
And so anybody else? That's all I have on my list.
Yeah. Hi. This is Sham from 14 Redwood. I support Srini Malisetti's business. They are friendly and yeah. And Roja, she gives on appointment basis. So strongly support this business.
Okay. Is there anybody else? Thank you so much.
Hey, this is Senthil.
Yep. Amit?
Yeah, I'm from 37 Primrose Circle. I'm in support of this business.
Thank you so much.
Okay, this is
So,
Rishti. I'm from 67 Spruce Street, and I'm in favor of this business.
Okay, well, that's, I'm sorry, we can only take the people that were on our list before. You know, if there's anybody else that's come into the meeting since, I'm sorry, we've already got like 40 people that have already spoken. We have. Okay.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Jim. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion to close the public hearing? Hearing none. On this one, it's Michael Riley.
Yes.
Where's Mike Damasio? You're not on my screen. You got moved. Mr. Damasio?
Yes.
Mr. Burton?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen? Yes. And I vote in the affirmative also. Okay, the public hearing is closed. Any discussions or anybody would like to make a motion? If you don't, I will.
Why don't you've got it there.
Okay, give me a second. Let's bring it up. "39 Primrose Circle. Findings. I move that the Board of Appeals find the following as it relates to proposed use of 39 Primrose Circle. The proposed accessory use, a hair salon, is categorized as a home personal service. Number 2, a home personal service is allowed by right home occupation within the open space mixed use district, OSMUD zoning district, which is in the zoning district, which is in the subject property is located. The proposed use as a home occupation does not contravene the standards for home occupations as defined in section 210-4 home occupations, item A 1 through 6. The determination of the zoning enforcement officer that the proposed use may not contribute to the betterment of the neighborhood and community does not constitute a valid reason for denial of the use of the property as a home occupation as described, consistent with the zoning bylaw. The decision. I move that the board overturn the decision of the zoning enforcement officer relative to the determination for the home occupation use at 39 Primrose Circle, thereby allowing the proposed home personal service of a hair salon at that address in compliance with the limitations as set forth in section 210-4 home occupations, item A 1 through 6 of the zoning bylaw.
A second.
Any discussions on the motion and the second? Hearing none.
Well, hold on a second.
Yes.
In the past, before we overturned a decision from the zoning enforcement officer, we've actually heard from the zoning enforcement officer as far as what their position is and why they made that statement. I'm not sure that that statement does not somehow relate to one of the 6 items. We have no plan of the parking. All we have is a view, bird's eye view of the property that was submitted with the application. The requirement is that they have parking on the lot sufficient for the residents, the employees, and the clients.
Oh, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the zoning enforcement officer wrote a written opinion, and he gave his reason to deny the use of the property. That's what he wrote. That's what we're deciding on. That was the basis of the decision. I didn't say anything about parking. I went by the property. I mean, there's room for at least 2 cars, maybe even more. But I don't think there's any reason for us to try to speculate what the zoning officer meant. If he had other reason than what he said, that it should have been in his letter.
Because, and to Mike, to your point, when we've gotten these before from the zoning enforcement officer, they were very specific as to what they were doing and why they were stopping it. But this to me was more arbitrary and kind of capricious to say what he believes is in conformance with the neighborhood. He didn't say parking. He didn't say any of those 6 criteria. So if they meet that 6 criteria and they say that they do, and there's a majority of the abutters and residents of the area that are saying that it does, then I, in my opinion, that the zoning enforcement officer just used his opinion of a what he thought was in good taste, as opposed to it was very subjective.
I couldn't
exactly
tell you whether I agree with you or don't agree with you because we haven't heard from him.
Right, and he's not here today.
In the past, we have not treated overturning the zoning enforcement officer lightly.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure that if
I don't see any reason why we can't just wait until the zoning enforcement officer is available to explain why.
Oh, well, Mr. Chairman, I think the zoning enforcement officer, when he writes an opinion, should put if he has any other reasons than what's in the opinion, it's up to him to put that in there. And, that's what we have to go on. And certainly he didn't contact us to say that we should postpone it or anything. I mean, everybody's here. We had about 40 people here. None of seems like the evidence we've heard from all these neighbors is that it complies with the definition that's in the zoning bylaw. So I don't see a reason why we should postpone it.
Well, and I see one of the things that I see is actually there has been a business going on, and it wasn't even a cease and desist. It was just if he came in and said a cease and desist and then gave the reasons, but this was just an opinion that they shouldn't start a business. But it seems like there's been a business going on there for quite some time, because I'd say a majority of the people there said that they were already using the service.
So my thought is, Michael, I'm completely with you as far as in that's why I had a talk with John G. and John Catino regarding my concern over overturning. I've never overturned, since I've been on the board, overturned a decision by the enforcement officer. However, in this case, since it's an application of right, I mean, they have a right to do it as long as they meet these 6 things, and that's why I went through each of these 6 things. Unless his opinion or his statements addressed one of these 6 things, I don't see how we can deny it. The use, only because
I'm not saying deny it. I'm just saying, out of respect for the zoning enforcement officer, we should just wait to hear his side.
I don't disagree in some ways, but I don't feel it's our right to shut down a business either. Because
I'm not saying shut down the business. I'm just saying all we have to do is wait. The business is ongoing right now, correct?
So you're just saying, so we postpone this hearing until we hear from Michael Savard?
Right, probably at the next.
They can operate business as usual.
Yes, they're continuing to operate, correct?
Right, but Mike, I see it as, look, we posted 2 weeks ago. Mike could have contacted myself, Mr. Riley, or even John, and updated it, updated anything that he wrote, or he could have been at this meeting if it was that important. You know, we can't just push aside, 40 people that came out plus us, and it was posted 2 weeks ago. He knew when we were going to do this, Mike. You know, if it meant a lot to him, he would have showed up. He would have shown up for the meeting.
To the chair.
Yes. Oh, yeah, thanks, Mike.
The input I want to give is that normally when we do have a situation where we're overturning, again, I haven't been on the board a long time, but I've been in front of the board a bunch, pulling permits and stuff. Usually when we get a letter that's denying it, like Mike Riley said, is it would have a call out on that letter stating which one of those things that they're violating therefore not allowing it to go through. And like you had stated, John, this is more of an opinion of what, he might have got from that neighbor that said that the parking wasn't, was affecting him getting out of the driveway or whatnot. But we can also vote this in and make that a stipulation, can we not?
No, it's already there.
No,
Mike, it's already part of the 6 criteria.
Right. So then that would become up to Mike, the zoning enforcer, to go out if there is a violation to handle that after us.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. We're ready for a vote. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Burton?
Yes.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Mr. Damasio?
I abstain.
Arnold?
Yes.
And I vote in the affirmative also. So we have 4-0-1. All right, it passes. Actually, thank you everybody for coming out for this. I appreciate it. Your business is very, very supported. My goodness. Yes, it seems to already be a successful business.
Yeah,
okay.
As our forefather said, small businesses are better than.
But please be aware of the 6 criteria, and please keep following them so that it doesn't upset any of the people that were dissenting.
Sure. I will reach out.
Are you giving discounts to everybody who supported you now? I'm only kidding.
Give it back to the community.
Congratulations and good luck with everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And again, I apologize if I mispronounced somebody's name.
No, you are 80% correct. So you are always. Thank you so much, everyone, for supporting me. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay, so Does anybody, let's look at the minutes from May 28th and June 11th. Does anybody have any additions or changes to the minutes as drafted? If not, would somebody like to make a motion to accept the minutes as drafted by Adina?
I make a motion to accept the minutes as drafted by Adina.
Second.
We have a second. I was going to say all those in favor. Okay, no, I have to look at you guys again. Okay, Jim?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike Heaton?
Yes.
Mike Damasio?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Cohen?
Yes.
And I vote the affirmative also.
Did you get Sean?
Yeah, did I say Sean?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes and yes.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, future meeting dates. What do we have coming up, Adina?
We have July 9th, one hearing, and I think that's all we have going forward right now.
I cannot be there for July 9th. I'll be away at camp.
Okay, well, we will try to soldier on. Okay, so we still got two other lawyers. Oh. God bless us. Excellent, thank you. Okay, so we get we have July 9th coming up. Anything coming up after that? Can we take the next one off or something and push somebody back, or?
You can. I think that's the only one scheduled right now. Let me just see.
Can we give somebody, like most boards, can we take a break in either July or August for a couple of weeks?
You can. The July 9th is scheduled. The second meeting in July, there's nothing scheduled yet and nothing in August. So if you want to take one of those off and let me know, I'll just won't have anything scheduled.
Excellent.
So it'd be July 23rd, August 13th, and August 27th are the scheduled ones. So if you want to pick one or whatever, and we won't schedule anything.
Excellent. All right, we'll talk about that one and then we'll send it out to the board.
Just let us know, let me know, as soon as possible. So if something comes in.
Okay. Perfect.
Is there any other times that other members?
Yeah, so then maybe let's knock off the next July one at least. And we'll just drop the next one back to August.
So right now, July 9th, one, and then we'll get rid of the other July.
Yes.
Perfect.
Excellent. Everybody in agreement with that? Does that sound okay for everybody?
Perfect.
Excellent. Bring everybody back in for one. Excellent. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Mr. Burton?
Yes.
Riley? Michael?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Heaton?
Yes.
Mr. Damasio?
Yes.
And I vote in the affirmative also. Adina, thank you. We are adjourned. Adina, thank you. John Gelchuk, thank you very much for coming. Thank you, everybody. EdgeCamp, thank you very much for covering us. It's we love it. It's important to people to see how their town government works. Hey, God bless everyone. Have a great night. Have a great week. And see you soon.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.